Hey everybody, Timo here. This episode is part of the Gitcoin Climate Solutions series. Please head on over to gitcoin.basin.global, check out our grant for the round, and then click back to grants, and you will see all the awesome climate projects. There are 40 individual projects and 10 bundles. This Gitcoin Climate Round is funding $333,000 of matching funds to all these awesome climate projects. So please support them, and welcome to the episode. Back with Alejandro from Kokonut Network.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me today to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So Alejandro and I had the pleasure of working together in the ReFi DAO Real World Asset Circle this summer. And Alejandro's project is called Kokonut DAO or Kokonut Network. So welcome. And why don't you give us a rundown of what you're working on? And that's Kokonut with a K.
Yeah. Thank you, Timo. Yeah, I'm Alejandro. I'm co-founder of Kokonut Network. I'm based in the Dominican Republic, and we are building a blockchain-based co-op that have the goal of connecting Web3 and agriculture through a network of coconuts with the aim of solving the lack of funding in the agricultural industry in the Latin America, mainly starting in the Dominican Republic.
And I guess a question you probably get quite a bit, is it just coconuts or is it agriculture in general?
Oh yeah, we are starting off with coconut, but we plan to create an intercrop with green bananas. Every time we deploy a new plantation, the idea is to create a one cycle of green bananas so we can minimize the use of the soil and we can provide the return value to the community to develop in a short term, because a coconut tree can take up to per year from seed to tree to start bearing fruit. So we come up with the idea so we can maximize the soil and create like short-term value for the DAO.
And it might be a dumb question, but I'm here in the middle of Colorado. What's the difference between a green banana and a yellow banana?
The yellow banana is the one that is sweet. And the green banana is the one that the Mexican use to do the mofongo. Mofongo?
I don't know.
They fry the green bananas and they mash it up with, you can add shrimps, chicken, whatever. It's a very popular recipe in the Latin cuisine.
Is it different than a plantain?
Yeah, it's a plantain, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't say green bananas because to avoid confusion.
Great. So where are you in the development process in what your DAO and the network and the chain you're building on? What's the latest?
The latest is that we recently closed a partnership with the Department of Agriculture, the highest level, like top of the that is going to provide the network with logistics, technical support, even government funding for the local community. Like we already are bringing benefits to the community because the community had a project that was approved for crowding, but government stopped. With the partnership that we have, since we have a relation with them, we were able to solve that problem. And this local women association in the local town is going to be able to finally launch the agricultural project that they have. So basically, we are really bringing value to the community, and that's the idea behind Kokonut.
So Alejandro, one of the reasons I'm doing this outside of our echo chamber of Twitter, Web3, crypto, and blockchain is it's streaming over on LinkedIn and on YouTube. You mentioned the Department of Agriculture. Like, to me, it's like we're not just inventing these crazy speculative markets. We're doing regenerative finance, or ReFi is doing real world impact, real projects on the ground with real organizations, institutions, and people. So maybe expand on what your experience is with Web3 and interfacing with the Department of Agriculture, for example.
Yeah, fully, because they love what we're doing because we are young people and we are addressing like real problems. The Dominican Republic, vast majority of land is owned by poor people, and the government doesn't have the reach to be able to create these projects with everyone. Like not everyone has even the knowledge to create a good proposal based on a project. So we providing oversight, we providing support, we are providing basically everything and becoming a layer between the Web3, the government and the local towner, the landowners that are the same people that want to be working in the farm. So the approach with the Department of Agriculture was something very small, I can say, because we approached them with the project. We already have the planting permits, we have the land, we have the farmers, pretty much we have everything organized, and we just came out with them like, oh, we have this project, we are aiming to create this X job, and we want the support that you can bring when it comes to logistics. And they were amazed by the amount of jobs that we are aiming to create with plantation and the amount of trees that we are aiming to plant. So that was like the aha for them. And they went to the local town and we hope a meeting there with all of the farmers, the landowners, and everyone in the community. And everyone's happy because we are basically taking the old co-op model and creating something that is more transparent. And the governance, it has to say in governance. Like it's not, oh, we're launching a token that is going to increase in value. No, we are creating shares that are XBT shares that they are soul bound to your wallet. So basically, when you become a DAO member, a voting member, unless you burn those shares back to the DAO, you always want to be a DAO member. So we are aiming to attract people that is thinking long term at us. That's why we don't have a liquid token, because we don't want that kind of people that is thinking about the price or having the governance share in the liquid market. Like you can have a price crash and the governance shares are going to crash with the price. So that I know for us. Because business for the Kokonut Network and Kokonut DAO is based around coconuts, not around creating a token and leaving the retail holding the bag as the DeFi pro, the last one.
I love that the usage of soulbound. That's a term we use over in Web3, and it's a non-transferable right or token that stays with you. A lot of people think as identity as soulbound. Alejandro is Alejandro, and that's Timo is Timo, and that's a soulbound identity that we can't necessarily sell, right, to other people, and it should stay with us. So I love the idea of that long-term incentive mechanism of like, once you're a member of the DAO, you're a member of the DAO. And so
like we don't I have read something in Twitter, like we don't have all of the details and we don't know everything. And that's what we want to empower the Kokonut community to know. Like we are not designing a token, not because we don't know how to, it's because we want the community to use the data that is coming from the DAO, the real world data that we want to be collecting in the open source system, the data that we're collecting in the farm, all of the financial data that is around the plantation. We want the DAO members to take this data and open up a proposal and be like, you know what? We can use this data and create this new utility token or this new liquid token based on the data that we're getting, that we as DAO member, we know that we can trust this data. So the token is not coming from the core team. It's coming from the Kokonut DAO community that is having a long-term vision, and everyone is, yeah, we need a token because now we have the data to create something that's gonna be there in 20 years from now. That's gonna be there in 10 years from now. That's the idea. That's why we have the governance shares and we don't have the token yet. And the shares are not liquid. So no matter if you get the last share in the B1 plantation, is the same price, the same $20, because that's the average budget that we need to take a tree from seed. And after that, the tree take care of itself. So it's basically a one-time contribution, and we're creating something that a coconut tree can last for up to 20 years, very true. So we're creating a natural asset that is going to be there in 20 years from now, and we just need to replant the trees and keep up with the process.
Seed to tree. I love that. And you've run a lot of financial analysis. I think like in a lot of these calls that we've done, the interviews, people talk about real world assets. And that's, I think, some of the disconnect of crypto is like, it's like over here in the ether, right? It's like this imaginary thing, but like you're taking real land, real coconuts, real people, and you've also done a lot of financial analysis on your deals. You and I talked about net present value plus at one point. So where are you on those financial projections and breaking even, profiting, financial feasibility for the projects?
Yeah, like planting coconuts is a win-win situation in every aspect that you can take a look at it. Like coconuts are spiritual, but you don't need to think about, oh, what I'm going to do with this, let's say the trash. Like there is someone waiting to buy that trash from you and create something else. So basically, you can use every piece of the coconut. For us in Coconut B1, each tree we forecasting to produce 300 coconuts per year. If you do simple math, we have like a 25% maintenance fee per year to maintain the plantation. So let's say we're spending $300K to keep up the plantation alive to every year. Each coconut is 45 cents in the market right now in the Dominican Republic. That was like 12 months ago price, local market price. So if you go to the local supermarket in Colorado, you're going to find coconuts like that's something exotic. Like they are very pricey. Like you can fine deal to coconut for $3. But guess what? The cost for the coconut we want to produce one coconut is 3 cents. So we have a very high margin play with. And this is why we can create this lifetime partnership based on coconut. Because only forecasting wholesaling of the coconuts, we are going to be able to make up to 600% IR yearly on the 1.2 investment. Like we retailing in coconut, this is a $8 million per year business at the actual market price. And that's like a 600% over the investment. So it's something that if it's just wholesaling coconuts, we are not accounting for byproducts. We are not accounting for the coconut waste. Like automakers use the waste to create pieces for the cars, because you can create something that is lighter than fiberglass and is more sturdy. So basically, like I said, it's a win-win situation. And since we can create these intercrops with the plantain, like the return on investment, you recoup the investment in the first harvest. Either plantains or either coconut, the DAO is going to be able to recoup the 1.2 that we need to develop the whole plantation in the first harvest.
So Burke was on yesterday from Earthist talking about hemp plants and all the different uses of hemp and what like medicinal and clothes and utility and insulation. Coconut reminds me it's a very useful plant and crop.
Yeah, we want to be able to step in many industries as we like food, like everything that has coconut inside, you can put it in the skin and you're going to get better. Like it's magic. If you take a look, that's why I said that coconuts are bear market proof, because you can have the cosmetics going down, but you have the food going up. So we want to be able to sort throughout the market and not be impact. Like we are not being impacted by the market of the many industries that we can tap with the coconut. Even the water, like coconut water, that's food. That's something that is always going on. Basically, after you produce the water, you still have whites inside, so you can do the oil. And then you have the shells, and you can create like plates, spoons, fork, like crazy. How beautiful. That freed a bird post 1 year ago that they call coconut tree the tree of life. And that's very true. If you take a deeper look at all of the uses, the whole like the vegan life, the people that want to take their health, like I use coconut sugar every day with my coffee. Like I love coconut sugar. I love coconut flour to bake bread. Like it's very yummy. Like I don't know. Like I just love it.
And so would your model, Alejandro, work anywhere coconuts can be grown, like all over the world?
Yeah, mainly they are grown in Asia, Philippines, India, and Latin America. And the coconuts, they love the soil that it has saline soil. They need that saline soil and that humidity for them to take a peak condition. Sometimes I have seen a coconut plantation that are very close to the roads. If you don't put really good system for irrigation, they're going to die with time because they need plenty of water to grow. They need a lean soil. That's why you can see very old coconut trees in the beaches and near the ocean, because that was fitting.
And so you're starting in the Dominican Republic, but your model, it seems like it would be scalable to India or to the Philippines or anywhere coconuts can be grown. Is that true?
Yeah. The idea is to create like the governance layer of the Coconut DAO composed of people that is aligned with the values that we are working on. Basically, we want to create the same level of access to all of the DAO members. For example, if you live in India and you have this piece of land and you are a DAO member, or you are not a DAO member, it doesn't matter. We want you to submit a proposal to create a coconut plantation if your land fell under the Korea, because we don't want to destroy a land that has better use than farming. For example, in the land that we use for coconut B1, it's a land that it's a dead land. It's not doing nothing. It's not bringing life. It's not producing. It's just there. So we are basically preserving the land and regenerating the soil, building a coconut farm, because the coconut trees are a great source of pollen. So yeah, we want our members to be able to have access to the coconut inventory and to have access to the Kokonut Network framework, either to create plantation or for the DAO members to be local distributor of the same coconut. For example, if you live in a town that you know that coconuts are expensive and you can create a local fruit company, we are growing coconuts that are going to be compliant with all of the worldwide markets. That's something that we love. The Department of Agriculture, they want to provide all of the technical information that we need on how to take care of the trees, on how to do the planting process for us to be able to export the coconut worldwide. So basically, we want every town member, no matter if you have only one share, to have access to the coconut inventory. You want to be able to open a proposal and be like, yo, I have this local company, here are the papers, send me this amount of coconuts because I already have a buyer, or I already have how to market the coconut. So basically, being a DAO member gives you access to the coconut inventory besides of the lifetime rewards and all of the benefits that come with being a coconut DAO member.
And you mentioned it earlier, but it seems like an important point to touch on is co-op model or co-op model when you talk about a network, right? So how did you settle on that model?
In the beginning, we just wanted to create a token and create money to do a plantation. But then I realized that we have several problems that we share between the in real life communities and the Web3 community. For example, there is not a source of income that doesn't depend on the users in the Web3. Like if there are any, that there are not many options out there, or the bar is too high for you to join. So we are basically creating something that the value is going back to the community 100%. For example, 100% of the voting power is in the hands of the DAO member, but 100% of the value of the plantation is going back to the community. And who's the community? The community is the DAO members, the landowners, the farmers, and the core team. You have four community or the team members, let's say, that is going to benefit from the plantation, but 100% of the voting power is only for the DAO member. For example, not the landowners, not the core team, anyone else has voting power than the DAO member. We designed it this way. In the B1 plantation, we basically have control over the land, because the land is in the Dominican Republic. So it was only fair to give 100% of the voting power and control over the DAO and the treasury to the people that is putting down the money. So we create this middle ground where we create trust between the two parties. All of these makes sense when it's time to scale and when the Kokonut DAO has a treasury, because the treasury is under management of the DAO member, not the core team, not the landowner. So when it is time to scale and expand to other countries or create a new plantation, it's going to be the DAO member decision to how this plantation is going to be created, because the DAO member are going to be the landowners. So you don't have landowners getting like all of this is decision of the DAO member if they want to buy land and become landowners, or they just want to keep the same framework of scouting land that is degraded, scouting a land that is owned by poor families and creating this partnership between the two worlds. Like it's up to the DAO members' decision. That's why the 100% voting power, because we don't want to be the ones calling all of the shots. We just want to build the framework where everything flows from the Web3 to in real life.
I love that. I think the one question I was going to ask is why Web3? But I like that to me, like that in a way you answered that. You started with thinking, oh, it's a way to raise money for issuing a token is a way to raise money to do a coconut plantation and do the real estate. But then all of a sudden there's all these other unlocks around utility and governance and access and ownership, or the cooperative model. It's like it's a bottom up movement rather than a top down movement.
And wisdom of the crowd, because like I said, we don't have all of the answers. By having a Web3 project, like we are having access to a wealth of knowledge. For example, you are a real estate expert. So if you are a DAO member and every decision have to go through the DAO, and you'll be like, okay, I know that my input as a real estate expert is gonna have weight because I know my industry, I know what I'm talking about. So that's why we wanted to have the DAO way. Even though we have this partnership with the Department of Agriculture, that if we want to, we can have access to the same funding that we are raising to DAO, but we don't get the wisdom of the crowd. We don't get the tokenomic experts. We don't get the scientific communities that are out there that we can partner and have this plan for their own experiments and to create other upsides, because that's the thing. Everyone can have a company. Like you can build a company, go to a bank, get some money, but anyone that there is no fun. That's not fun anymore. Like it's even better when you build a community and you have people and you have, oh yeah, Timo is coming over next weekend. And I have to go to the airport to pick up Timo, so we can go to the land. Like that's fun. We create.
Sounds good. I think we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Like, we have all of that good intention to bring people, and that's why we are so open to the milestones that we are hitting in the real life side. Because the parity with the government, like, there is no other DAO with this level of access, government. If you take a look, like, the law is always what is preventing mass adoption in crypto. So we have the lawmakers supporting what we're doing. So that's a win-win for everyone.
Great. Well, I love the energy, the enthusiasm, in the details and the thoughtfulness. You always ask really good questions, and you really thought through the mechanism of how it's going to work and how to apply it. And I'm going to take you up on your offer for you to pick me up at the airport when I come.
Yeah.
Cool. What's the best way for people to get involved with Kokonut DAO or to support you, obviously, in the Gitcoin round? But what's the next step, Alejandro?
Yeah, and follow us on Twitter and join the Discord. Like, we are kicking off a new initiative of creating a sub ecosystem inside of Kokonut Network that is named Green Founders. That are just people that are green pill, are aligned with what we're doing. Because I believe that we have many resources that we can share with the whole Web3 communities, and the Web3 and mainly the refi community needs all of the support that we can give each other. So support us in the brand, join us on Twitter and Discord. We're kicking off this new thing called Green Founders. It's going to be a really calm. I want to create a calm space, not meeting, none of that. Like, we want people to meet outside of the group, one-on-one. If you find synergies, we don't want to be using people's time for mainly meetings. So yeah, join us on Discord and on Twitter and support the brand. Because we're building a forever for everyone that wants to be part of the Kokonut Network.
Like, obviously DAOs, right, over the last year have gone through some growing pains. But when you mention wisdom of the crowd, to me, I think that's one of the big unlocks that DAOs are going to stick around for, of crowdsourcing, right? Ideas and networks and expertise, not just money, but how do we do something better? Who's the right person to talk to? How do we do it faster? I think that's where DAOs are going to really just stick around.
Yeah, that's the idea. Because like I said, if Timo says something about real estate, everyone has to listen, because that's Timo area. And that's why, that's why we want, like, the whole refi community to be a DAO member in Kokonut, because they're going to be in control of how we do everything. And if we have all of those experts on board, like, everything is going to be great in the long term.
And so are your DAO shares live to purchase?
Yeah. We are live in the chain in DAO Hub. You just need to open a proposal for how many shares you want and the money that you are going to give you. It's $20 one share. If you ask me, I would love to have 60,000 members with one share, because the width of the crowd is even bigger this way. And we have a really decentralized network. If you ask me how I would love to envision the network.
Well, cool. So coconut.network with a K, or two Ks, .network. Thanks so much for coming. And I love our collaboration, and it's great to compare notes. And I wish you the best with the rest of the Gitcoin round. We have another week.
Thank you. It's been awesome already. Like, the engagement rate is very high. So thank you, Timo, for hosting me today. It was a pleasure to be in your show.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, Alejandro, and we'll see you on the interwebs. And yeah, I appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Up next is going to be Jimmy Cohen from the Forests and Oceans bundle. Make sure to add it to your final ballot. Please make a donation to every single one. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. It's more about the number of votes and the number of donations that counts, because that's what engages quadratic funding. This Gitcoin Climate Round is funding $333,000 of matching funds to all these awesome climate projects. So please support them.